food benefits for November amid a U.S. government shutdown. The program serves about 1 in 8 Americans, mostly in lower incomes. In Wisconsin, 700,000 residents use SNAP, and in Milwaukee County, that number is 230,000 residents. The path in the Senate to end the government shutdown remains unclear. News Nation's Joe Khalil has more.
We are further away from a resolution than we were just yesterday. It seems like Congress has taken some steps backwards now. So we'll get into why that is in just a second. But just to let everyone know what we're expecting at some point today, because the vote has yet not been scheduled here, is there's going to be a vote on a CR, which is the bill that would reopen the government and continue funding the government at its current levels.
Democrats blocked quick consideration of a measure earlier in the day, contributing to the tensions between the two sides. A Wisconsin congressman's proposed bill would hold lawmakers accountable during the shutdown. Representative Brian Steele tells Wisconsin's Midday News about his proposed withhold member pay during Shutdowns Act.
The whole process in Washington in many ways is a mess. We need to change the underlying structure, but you also need to remove the incentives for members of Congress, and that's why I came forward with the legislation to say members of Congress should not get paid while the federal government is shut down.
Steele says if the act does get passed, he hopes future government shutdowns can end sooner. A young child's death on Milwaukee's north side is now under investigation. The 3-year-old was found unresponsive in a home Thursday near 29th and Hour. The police have not confirmed if anyone is in custody or if the death is suspicious in nature. A group representing some of the largest sports betting apps in the U.S. is challenging a bill in Wisconsin to legalize sports betting through an app run by the state's Native American tribes. Sports Betting Alliance representative Damon Stewart says the bill would prevent companies like DraftKings and FanDuel from operating in the state.
If passed as is, Wisconsin adults who want to bet on the online sports books will not be able to use DraftKings and FanDuel. Instead, their choices will be a small number of the Wisconsin-specific online sports book offered by the tribes themselves.
As currently written, the bill states that any online sports betting app must have a server that originates from tribal lands. An annual parade to honor those who served takes place Saturday, but it's being hosted in a new location.
The 5th annual Wisconsin Veterans Day Parade is being held in downtown Wauwatosa, moving from its previous location in downtown Milwaukee. According to the Wisconsin Veterans Community Foundation, it's the only remaining active Veterans Day parade in the state. The parade will honor over 500 vets and feature a military flyover along with other festivities. It kicks off Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, weather, and next Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News time is 6:03.
Celebrate the spirit of the season in the Milwaukee Theater District. Experience these beloved classics: Milwaukee Ballet's The Nutcracker, Milwaukee Rep's A Christmas Carol, and don't miss Broadway favorites like How the Grinch Stole Christmas and The Pigeon Gets a Big Time Holiday Extravaganza. Savor Milwaukee's culinary scene, from James Beard recognized restaurants and classic supper clubs to cozy outdoor seating under holiday lights. Make it a getaway. Stay in a hotel that feels just like home. Make plans today at visitmilwaukee.org.
Get 2 mattresses for the price of 1.
Whoa, what are you doing?
We don't do sales at Penny Mustard.
I know.
So how can we offer 2 mattresses for the price of 1?
Because with a flippable 2-sided foam or coil mattress from Penny Mustard, it's like having 2 mattresses for the price of 1.
You'll give each side more time to breathe.
And your mattress will last twice as long.
See? 2 for 1.
2-sided mattresses, available every day at Penny Mustard Furnishings.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
In 1964, we were making strides towards space travel.
Mary Poppins was the #1 movie in theaters.
And the Beatles were taking America by storm.
Which was long before I was born.
Facts. 1964 is also the year it all started for Richland's Tire and Service Centers. 60 years of continuous growth and more happy customers than you can shake a stick at.
Okay, the streamers are a bit overkill. It's just us in the studio.
All right. But it's important to know accomplishments like these aren't possible without a dedicated team. So hats off to them and our founder, my dad, Dick Matschke, for understanding the importance of customer focus.
Facts. There's no 60 years of anything without you, the customer, which is why our focus will remain on you and only you for years to come.
Thank you from all of us here at Richland's Tire and Service Centers.
Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all Sports Desk. The Bucks take the home floor tonight in Game 1 of Group Play in the NBA Cup. The Bucks host the Chicago Bulls tonight. Coverage begins at 6:30 on WTMJ. And with Packers tight end Tucker Kraft sidelined for the rest of the season, Luke Musgrave steps into a greater role in the offense, led by Jordan Love.
With Tuck being out, he's going to have obviously a lot more reps, and it's just maximizing all those reps. And he does a lot of good things. I think he's got a lot better in just the pass game, his route running ability. And I think his confidence for himself is pretty high right now.
The Packers remain 2.5-point favorites for Monday night's game against the Eagles. And the Wisconsin Badgers football team returns to the home field Saturday afternoon against 23rd ranked Washington. Badgers are 0-5 in their Big Ten play. The 24th-ranked Badgers basketball team hosts Northern Illinois tonight at the Kohl Center. Badger sports updates are sponsored by Sang Unlimited, Sighting, and a whole lot more. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Okay, we got a couple of incidents out on the road at this time. Give me a quick second to pull them up. Got a couple of delays on I-94 southbound. One that has been recently cleared, so you ignore that. Then we've got an incident over on I-41 US 45 North at Silver Spring Drive. The right lane is blocked due to a crash, so be aware of that. Over down on I-94 41 southbound, 0.5 miles beyond the ramp from Howard Avenue, the right shoulder is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. Other than that, roads are clearing up across all of southeast Wisconsin. All right, time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight will be cloudy and windy with showers likely with a low of 46 degrees. Saturday is going to be mostly cloudy with evening rain. Snow is likely with up to an inch possible. Sunday will be mostly cloudy, windy, and chilly with a chance of flurries and a high of 37 degrees. And Monday will be mostly cloudy with a chance of rain and snow showers with a high of 38 degrees. Right now in Madison, it's 49 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 44 degrees. Over in Waukesha, it's 53 degrees. And right here in Milwaukee, it's 54 degrees. I'm Sean Brinda. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 6:08.
Sean of Wisconsin and beyond. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Max, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. A deep dive into all things intriguing, riveting, and entertaining. Now, here's your host, Sandy Max.
Thank you for joining me for What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. Happy Friday. We have about 20 minutes together before our Milwaukee Bucks basketball coverage begins. Bucks hosting the Chicago Bulls at Fiserv Forum tonight. Movie news and music news for you in these next 20 or so minutes. The Grammy Awards nominations announced today. There is a Wisconsin man. His band got 2 nominations. I will share which Wisconsin artist may be adding 2 more Grammy statuettes to the 2 they already have. And in other music news, did you know that the son of singing legend Mel Torme is a Wisconsin resident, and he's also in the music business? Steve March Torme is Mel Torme's son and the stepson of an entertainer and actor named Hal March. Steve is a performer and singer-songwriter based in the Green Bay area, and he has stories to share. WTMJ's Libby Collins puts the spotlight on Steve March Torme on WTMJ Conversations Sunday morning. You'll get a preview of some of those tales of his entertainment experiences and growing up around the stars of the time in just a few minutes. And more music news. Did you hear the concert news about the Rock and Roll Hall of Famers coming to Milwaukee to play a farewell tour stop at Fiserv Forum? I will get you that info and play one of their biggest hits, a true sing-along song. It'll feel good for a Friday. It'll be the song you need to hear at 6:25. But before we get to the music, I have a movie update, one of my favorites. Oh, yeah. That sumptuous music. Well, Downton Abbey, the grand finale, the third and final film of the beloved series, now available for you to enjoy at home online. Came out in the theaters in September. Now it is streaming on Peacock as of today. You can also get it digitally if you want to get it on Apple TV, Amazon Prime Video, Fandango at home. You can rent it and borrow it there or purchase it. If you have a tangible DVD library like I do, you can get it in 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray later this week, November 11th. And it's got all the bells and whistles. You get the hour of exclusive content, behind-the-scenes featurettes, with the cast, and the Blu-ray anthology is also going to be released so you can have every single minute of the TV series and the films with a 52-page book. It is holiday season. That could be a great gift for the biggest Downton Abbey fan in your life. And you know what a massive fan I am. I went to London in September for the world premiere, then to the New York City premiere for a screening with the cast and creators because I got to be part of the New York City junket. I even got time with actors from the show, Hugh Bonneville, Alan Leach, and Kevin Doyle. They play Lord Grantham, Tom Branson, and Mr. Mosley, and they were a true pleasure to interview. They were fun. For example, here's a moment when I started with an icebreaker with the gentleman. Now that you've learned I'm from Milwaukee, what do you think of Milwaukee, Wisconsin? Each of you, what comes to mind?
Cheese.
Beer. I just like the way you say it. Milwaukee.
Oh, do I have the accent?
Wisconsin cheese.
Have
Is
you
it
had
true
some?
that you're not allowed, it never leaves Wisconsin, apparently?
What,
you have to go and get the cheese to get it out. Is that true? Maybe that's a rumor.
Oh, no, we send it all around the world.
But you keep the best stuff at home.
Exactly. Well, you're welcome to come try some.
I'd love to.
Wouldn't that be nice? I would love for the cast to come here. But you know what I'm thinking after listening to that interview a few times? I wonder if Alan Leach knows about Spotted Cow beer. Maybe that's what he thinks can't leave Wisconsin because you can only get Spotted Cow here. So I don't know. Again, I would love the chance to ask Alan Leach or any of the cast members. But you can hear that full interview on the What's on Tap podcast, WTMJ.com, or wherever you get your podcasts. Dig into some more Downton Abbey chat and then stream Downton Abbey, the grand finale on Peacock. Now the music news. Grammy Award nominations announced this morning. And who is the Wisconsin band to root for?
Now by 50, and I'm right at home.
It's Bon Iver. Justin Vernon, founder of the indie band Bon Iver, born and raised in Eau Claire, still lives there. Bon Iver have 2 Grammys. They won Best New Artist and Best Alternative Music Album in 2012. They've been nominated other times, and now they're nominated in 2 categories. Best Alternative Music Performance for that song, Everything is Peaceful Love, and Best Alternative Music Album, Sable Fable. So we'll find out on February 1st at the Grammy Awards if Bon Iver gets to take home 1 or 2 Grammy statuettes. My fingers are crossed. I'm rooting for the local talent. And Steve March Torme, local talent in the Green Bay area, he tells tales of performing with his dad, Mel Torme, next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
It's Gina Della. You've heard me define what makes Pella Windows and Doors different. Let me introduce you to the woman behind the billboards, commercials, and share my extraordinary journey of resilience, reinvention, and shattering glass ceilings every Saturday morning at 6:30 on 620 WTMJ and anywhere you stream podcasts for What's the Difference with Gina Della to discuss business coaching across all industries, featuring successful executives, entrepreneurs, and mentors along the way. This is a story you won't want to miss.
At Gruber's offices, we've helped tens of thousands of families after a serious accident. Our priority has always been our clients. We're here for you whenever you may need us. One call, that's all.
This message reaches 1 million people or more every week. Spreading the gospel is more than one voice speaking to 1 million. It is and must continue to be 1 million voices, each speaking to one, pointing them to our friend Jesus.
The Lutheran Hour with Dr. Michael Ziegler.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavini here to talk about my brand new show, WTMJ Outdoors. This week we're talking fat bikes and hunting. Yes, that's the case. New technology making it easy for hunters. And Rod Menser joins us from USA Archery, growing the sport of archery, the competition side. Lots of fun. All things Wisconsin outdoors. Join us every Saturday, 2 to 3, right here on 620 WTMJ.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited. You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Max on WTMJ.
Thanks for hanging out with me for What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world class. Discover more at visitmilwaukee.org. And just talking about the Grammy nominations, Bon Iver nominated for 2 Grammy Awards. And you know Bon Iver, based in Eau Claire. And you know the other thing I forgot to mention, of all the accolades, Bon Iver worked with Taylor Swift on her two 2020 albums, Folklore and Evermore. So what a talented group of individuals there. So rooting for them to win a Grammy. And this weekend on WTMJ's Conversations, speaking of music, you just heard music, brand new music, from a musician named Steve March Torme, based in the Green Bay area. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because, yes, he is related to that Torme. Steve March Torme is the son of singer and songwriting legend Mel Torme. Yes, this Mel Torme.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
I made this discovery last year when I asked for people to submit songs for my holiday show, which I'm doing again this year. And I got to meet Steve March Torme through that. I was like, get out. I had no idea we had that level of interesting talent here. So Steve also, interestingly, stepson of actor and comedian Hal March. Well known on TV in the 50s, he was the host of the game show The $64,000 Question. And Steve March Torme chatted with WTMJ's Libby Collins for this weekend's WTMJ Conversations, and sharing stories that have that just interesting nostalgia. Like, he grew up in a very interesting world, and he continues to be a singer-songwriter and performer of his own music and a radio host in the Green Bay area. And he also has an interesting TV experience.
You mentioned you had hosted a lot of shows in your younger days in Hollywood. You had a big one, and I remember seeing you on it, and that was the $100,000 Name That Tune. You were what? The cute rock singer on it.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that was interesting. I had a manager at the time who called me and said, I've got an audition for you. He said, it's for a game show. I said, why would I want to be on a game show? I'm just trying to get a record deal. And he said, well, how about this, stupid? Hundreds of thousands of people that will see you on the show. It's television. So I went in, and it was a cold audition. It was a room no bigger than this. There was an executive producer, no guitar, no piano, and I had to stand there and sing Blue Suede Shoes and Elton John's Daniel. And they looked at me and said, yeah, okay. And I got the gig. So, yes, I became the rock singer.
And you were on for a number of years on that show.
Yeah, we did 3 years of that show. It was great. I made friends who are still friends to this day, musicians that I know, and I learned how to sing 2 notes at a time.
That's a good point, because I just saw the modern version of Name That Tune, and they still do it. I can name that in 3 notes. And Steve March Torme also shared about the first time he shared the stage with his dad, Mel Torme.
I have to go back to your dad, Mel Torme. When was the first time you were on stage with your dad?
I think the first time we were together was at a nightclub I was working, and I asked him if he would sing with me. I'm sure it was in Los Angeles. And we did Lulu's Back in Town, because that's the song he always wanted to sing with me, because he figured, Stephen can remember this one. We would trade scat solos, and that was the first time. And we did some TV together. We did the Dinah Show together.
Dinah Shore.
Yeah. It was sons and daughters of famous people. So it was Mel Tillis's daughter, Pam, who's a country western singer. It was Pearl Bailey's daughter, and Mel and myself. And that was fun. We did the Mike Douglas Show. So we sang together maybe only about a half dozen times, but it was always great fun. He was always there for me if I asked him.
That is super. I love that was not a strained relationship, and that actually happened, dad and son together. Steve March Torme also describes what it was like to grow up with famous parents, and talks about his friends who would go on to grow up to be stars.
When did you realize your parents were famous?
I think when I saw my stepfather, Hal, on Broadway, and I would sit there and tell everybody around me, that's my dad. Yeah, that's my dad. And then, I kind of knew that Mel was famous, especially because of the Christmas song. But I didn't see him that much until we moved out to California from New York. So I would see him once in a while. And then our relationship kind of grew once we moved to California. And I knew he was famous.
When you were a kid, and with the people you mentioned, I mean, people like Desi Arnaz Jr.
And Liza, we became friends.
As in Minnelli.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. And Carrie Fisher, who was Debbie Reynolds' daughter.
Yep.
Yeah, so you were around a lot of musical people.
Mm-hmm. And actors and actresses. I mean, Carrie was obviously an actress. Miguel Ferrer, who was Jose's son, friends with him too. So a lot of show business. Well, that's where they are.
What a wild way to grow up. He is Steve March Torme. You'll hear more stories with Libby Collins on WTMJ Conversations on Sunday at 11 a.m. And he is performing on next Saturday, November 15th. He's in Appleton at the Fox Cities PAC with a Grateful Groove fundraiser concert for Trim Hunger. And then he's got a bunch of holiday shows called For Kids from 1 to 92, all around the Wisconsin area in December. So get to know him on WTMJ Conversations Sunday morning at 11. And speaking of live performances, a classic rock concert announcement made yesterday, a farewell show at Fiserv Forum. I'll get you up to date on the band that'll be here in a few months to play for you, and I will play for you one of their biggest hits as the song you need to hear. Sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment. Visit them at flanners.com. At Flanners, music matters. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play. Next on What's on Tap.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
The fall home buying season is officially here, which sometimes means less competition among home buyers, but that doesn't seem to be the case this year, with most listings still getting multiple offers. Now, a lot of home shoppers just go with their bank for their pre-approval. But if you'd like to get into your new home for the holidays, now's the time to get started with a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet, or switch if you started somewhere else. Not only will we put a $2,000 guarantee behind our fully verified pre-approval, we'll also work with you and your real estate agent to craft offers that get accepted over the rest. Our favorite tool is to see if we can get an appraisal waiver for the property you're trying to buy. Sure, that takes more effort on our part, but adding those magic words, "no appraisal required," to your property-specific pre-approval can be the difference maker. And our closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 less than the bank's for the same rate. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button today at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Marty's Pizza in Delafield. Open for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery 7 days a week. If you haven't tasted our legendary pizza yet, I'll tell you what our loyal customers will tell you. You're missing out. But it's not only pizza. Great salads, subs, and Italian entrees like our mostaccioli or lasagna are must-tries. Covered with 100% mozzarella cheese and baked to perfection. So if you're not cooking tonight, remember Marty's Pizza, right off I-94 and Highway 83 in Delafield. Or order online at martyspizza.net.
Remember Marty's Pizza.
Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that.
Remember Marty's Pizza.
Right off I-94 and Highway 83 in Delafield.
Celebrate the spirit of the season in the Milwaukee Theater District. Experience these beloved classics: Milwaukee Ballet's The Nutcracker, Milwaukee Rep's A Christmas Carol, and don't miss Broadway favorites like How the Grinch Stole Christmas and The Pigeon Gets a Big Time Holiday Extravaganza. Savor Milwaukee's culinary scene, from James Beard-recognized restaurants and classic supper clubs to cozy outdoor seating under holiday lights. Make it a getaway. Stay in a hotel that feels just like home. Make plans today at visitmilwaukee.org.
If you missed this,
Democrats running for governor I've spoken to all are supporting legalizing medicinal marijuana in our state. What's your position on that?
I certainly think we should take the step of making medical marijuana legal.
or this,
A federal judge has issued a temporary restraining order over the Trump administration's effort to deploy the National Guard troops.
Catch up on the Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast at WTMJ.com. Presented by Dave Drakamp Heating.
and now feast your ears. This is the song you need to hear.
Most blokes are going to be playing at 10. These go to 11.
You've sung it at weddings, at ball games, probably at karaoke. Journey, Don't Stop Believin'. Not just a rock anthem, it is a tune with over 2 billion plays on Spotify. And now, that band that defined arena rock, they are saying farewell. Journey, bringing their final frontier tour to Milwaukee's Fiserv Forum on March 19th. So crank it up, sing it loud, and make plans to see these Rock and Roll Hall of Famers and classic rock legends. March 19th in Milwaukee. Journey, Don't Stop Believin', the song you need to hear. Sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment. Visit them at flanners.com. At Flanners, music matters. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit.
A singer in a smoky room, the smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Streetlights, people, living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the night. Working hard to get my fill. Everybody wants a thrill. Paying anything to roll the dice. Just one more time. Some will win, some will lose. Some are born to sing the blues. Oh, the movie never ends. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Streetlights, people, living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling.
Now imagine all of Pfizer Forum singing that song. Journey, Don't Stop Believin', the Final Frontier Tour, March 19th at Pfizer Forum. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I am Sandy Max. You are listening to What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee.
There's nothing like Milwaukee Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. The dunks, the defense, the roar of 17,000 fans. It's even